Hello, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyond the Summer presentation of the iLeague Season 3 Dota 2 Chinese Qualifier Group Stage. Here we have Vici Gaming versus Newbee here. It is Game 2 of this 2-game series, and Vici are up 1-0 after an outstanding performance from iSize on his Faceless Void, and pretty much everybody. I mean, Super even brought back his old classic Dragon Knight, for crying out loud. It was so much fun. But now, yeah, I'm sure you guys, your eyes lit up as soon as we went up, panned over to the draft screen here. Sniper coming out for Vici Gaming. Essentially, Newbee didn't prioritize the troll in the last game at all. They actually didn't ban it, and they didn't first pick it when they had first pick. Now Newbee, respecting the troll that we just saw coming out of How, ban out the troll warlord, ban out the Phantom Lancer again, but they leave the sniper in. They can't ban it all, and they're more afraid of the troll in the PL. So they are going to look to address the sniper here. Clockwork and Lena going to be the picks on the table to try to go toe-to-toe with it. Vici Gaming get the line for themselves. No Tree and Protector or Earthshaker, no turtle strats like that. They're just going with a good bread-and-butter support that can help them control the lanes. If you turn the engagement with the Sniper Shrapnel, then Line will be able to follow through on that with good damage and disable. But we're going to see Viper at least get a good chance to go toe-to-toe with him in the 1v1. I mean, if you just look at it right now, that's a pretty good spot where essentially he's going to be able to use Nether Toxin to last hit and still find some level of farm and be more survivable against the sniper when it comes down to that harassment, shrapnel and such. So I think Viper is a pretty good pick here, and it's going to enable them to at least create opportunities where they could smoke gank towards and against him. But we're going to be seeing Morphling here as the next pickup, and I think it's going to be iSize on the Morphling. Definitely could be How. He could be running a safe lane Morphling, and that would be fine, but I think this might be a strength off lane Morphling. So we'll see as the draft progresses exactly, and I'll get to talking a little bit more about strength Morphling if that is confirmed. But at least for now, yeah, their main thing here is just going to be jumping the sniper with the Clockwork. I assume that Venge is on Vici's mind as far as their next pick potentially, just to swap out of the cogs. But in either case, the sniper gets caught in the cogs, they follow up with Light Strike Array, just get those easy setups, and they feel in a pretty good position to kind of follow through on that kill. But we're going to see Rubik come out for Newbee, and it's got to be a really good one, honestly, because Shrapnel is powerful, Finger of Death, Earth Spike, sometimes even Hex, is great. But the big spells that you want to steal is from the Morphling. Rubik can practically carry a game against the Morphling if the Morphling plays it a little poorly and the Rubik plays it extremely well. But it's got to be on that kind of mechanical skill, that methodical nature, just as a really good battlecaster, knowing exactly what to steal and when, what spells to put out, and that kind of thing. But long-term progression, I'd love to see the Rubik get some good farm here. I think with the Morphling's spells, he could do a lot of work, and we'll have to see if he gets the opportunity. It's a really good pickup for roaming and ganking early between the Rubik and the Lena, but it doesn't give him much mid to late game unless he gets the right spell steals against the Morphling. Sand King going to be the pickup from Vici Gaming, so we could just see the FY hang out in the jungle. Go ahead, farm himself up, build himself to Blink Dagger fairly early on, and find himself in a good position to go active on the lanes. Still doesn't really tell us much about their intentions other than it's not going to be reactive and defensive. A lot of times you see like this 4 protect sniper where essentially sniper's picked up and then it's an arms race between the two sides. The enemy wants to build up heroes that can jump and engage upon the sniper, and the other team wants to protect him, getting all these defensive heroes. Sand King does have some defensive attributes. If you are jumping in with 2 people, if you're like Phantom Assassin, Phantom striking onto him, and then the Clockwork hooks onto him, then you can just blink burrow those 2 people, and that's going to be a defensive response. But generally speaking, Sand King is offensive. He looks for kills, he looks to set up teamfight opportunities, counter-initiate with devastating damage, and just win the fight outright, rather than buy time for other people. So we'll see the pickup from Newbee here. They've got to get a safe lane carry that can build MKB with a good timing. Nah, I mean, I guess the MKB is not too necessary, but no matter what, they need somebody that can just go and survive against spells. So BKB, carry, somebody that can close distance on Sniper. I don't know. It's difficult. I think Slark would be pretty good here. I think Slark would be solid just because the Dark Pact kind of eliminates the need for BKB for a while, and he can kind of jump on his target. But I'm not sure if they can actually facilitate that. There's still the Earth Spike, the Burrow Strike, even the Waveform to worry about. It's not the ideal game for him, but it's just an idea, trying to get out of those few disables while you can with the Dark Pact. Tide is going to be the ban here against Vici, though, so they think that it's going to be How's Morphling in the safe lane, and that would, of course, imply Ice's hero is still on the line, and they're afraid of the Tide. Tide will be turning, but I'm not sure if it's going to be in Newbee's favor with the tail end of this draft. They need to get the perfect pick to kind of find somebody that can really crush Vici's heroes, and there's not one easy answer, honestly. There's nobody that's that tanky, but also really good at gap closing, and going to bring him down. I mean, we've seen Wisp CK do some good work, but CK without the Wisp is kind of pointless. Bristleback is a good hero that's also kind of on that front line there. He doesn't, like, instantly get on the front line. He'd have to run through Shrapnel and such, but he still could get there in the end, so they do ban him out. And now Newbee have something to think about. 30-some-odd seconds for their last pick here, putting all the cards on the table. The Clockwork is going to go to the off lane. The Lina, Rubik are going to be the supports, and they are going to go for the Slark in the safe lane. So, again, I think this probably is one of the better pick options. If he goes for a Blink Dagger early, and then into like Yasha BKB or something like that, he'd be pretty good. But the bottom line is, it's not the answer to everything. He still has some problems against line sanking, and he will have to play this game really smooth in order for him to pull forward. Vici Gaming, knowing what they're up against, looking for that last pick, and maybe, okay, it is going to be Ice's hero. The Broodmother here for the offlane says, hey, Rubik, Lina, yeah, you got enough AoE? Because you better. Otherwise, these spiders are going to run all over you. And the worst case scenario is Ice just jungles really well by taking spawn spiderlings from the lane and putting them into the Radiant jungle. But the ideal here is to kill off supports. Kill Banana and Sanshang over and over to the point that they just can't do anything. They can't actually get enough levels to have their lasers mean anything against Sniper. Like, ideally you get Lina's Laguna Blade up before Sniper gets tanky, but there's no way that's going to happen if Brood keeps on kind of detracting from your support's farm. And we'll keep tabs on that bottom lane as frequently as we can to try to make sure that we catch all the action there.
Prepare for battle.
Got some caffeine in me waking up this morning, so hopefully we get a little bit more hype casting than we saw earlier. But let's just talk about the heroes real quick. We're going to see Boots first on the Sand King, opening up Tangos and Clarity for FY, no surprise there. And that's going to leave the 5-position line to just go for consumables for the most part. One branch to his name. Super is going to be running on the mid Sniper. This guy's one of the few that like practically invented Sniper. You can thank him for like what he's been able to do on this hero. Actually, FY scouting things out. He knows he has those boots, so he's just messing with them. He's apparently learning from the best. The Ice troll. Oh my gosh, that's so mean. Just like stop moving. Just keep on baiting it out. Now knowing that he could get pounced upon, he'll fall back further, but he's just being such a jerk. Ice's probably patting him on the back right now, but they actually could go for an engage here. They don't have 5, but they do have some pretty good early game nukes. We'll see if they can pick anybody off, anybody weak from the herd. But it looks like it's just going to be them controlling their jungle, trying to prevent their camps from being sentryed. But I think Banana's going to go for it, and he will be able to get this sentry down. So Super spinging it out. They actually didn't get the sentry ward off, so that's very important to note. Banana did not get a sentry in this area. This camp is going to spawn. They'll know that at 30 seconds. The only camp that's actually blocked is the one back here, which you don't really have to fight for. That's a pretty easy ward to get down. So, yeah, other than that, we're going to see Ice lay down some webs. First, I'm actually going to keep tabs on this. I was playing Brood, and I was just like kind of perplexed as far as the webs, where you're supposed to place them. They're so big now that you don't have to be as specific, but I'm sure there's still ways to optimize the positioning. So, web number 1 goes down here for Ice and immediately chains it up to the south to control this side shop region against Rabbit. Now, he's got the Soul Ring recipe, so he wants to just get his last hits for now. He won't start being aggressive until level 2 and 3, and when he gets that Soul Ring. A couple clarities for him to start too, so he will have lots of mana to work with. And he's essentially going to be in a 1v3. Yeah, it looks like Lina and Rubik will be making their way down bottom. Rubik has Dust, Lina pulling camps, just trying to detract from what Ice gets from the lane originally. But up top is going to be FY actually babysitting Morphling, soaking up half experience while the Fenrir goes ahead and stacks, or at least intends to. I think he stacked, yeah, this camp didn't get Mud Golems, so pretty happy there. But FY, he's not really creating pressure on the lane. In fact, he's stealing from Hao's experience. But the reason to do this is just to rush out your level 3. If you get a bounty rune and you get to soak up half the experience on the lane, you can get level 3 pretty early on. And at that point, you're in a good spot to just go ahead and leave the lane to the Morphling solo. So, bounty rune did go to Broodmother on the bottom lane, and Hao on the top. So the fact that Morphling's able to pick up that bounty rune is actually a really big deal. He's able to pull forward early. That early Basilius comes out, and yeah, he's just looking pretty good. We'll look over the mid lane. It's not the most interesting of lanes, mostly just a few trades back and forth. But it is going to be Super right now, leading on last hits 8 and 2. Moo tries to contest it, but every time he comes to the high ground, he's eating a lot of damage. He's doing good with the poison attack in terms of not taking creep aggro, but he's still getting headshot. He's still taking some big hits. We're going to see the spiders kind of start doing their thing, just poking and prodding at Banana, doing that damage over time with the poison. Can't really get over to Lina. She's away from the webs, but Banana, he's a one armor hero that is going to be taking those hits. But Moo, Super, going up against it. Fenrir just makes his easy rotation. Earth spikes on just way too aggressive of a stance from the Viper. So, while there's action going to be going on in all 3 lanes, it's actually going to be the first blood coming out where the Lion goes ahead and ganks. I mean, the Viper was just like way up here in this general area. You can't be there when you don't know where the supports are. But while Ice guaranteed has Sansheng and Banana tied up bottom, Lion's a little bit more free to roam whenever he's not stacking. And we're going to see the dust come out, and they're going to pounce onto Ice. They do lock him in. They do pull him back. The stun, though, going to be the last thing they need to cast on him. They will be able to bring him down. Lina going to be bringing down the Broodmother. And now back to the lane here. Not only is Super leading on the last hits of the Viper, who only has 7 and 4, but of course has that first blood advantage thanks to the Lion's contribution. But still being harassed a little bit in the tower. He will chew through some regen. And FY, he does find his way to level 3. As soon as he gets level 3, off to the race as he goes, off to the jungle to find his farm. And let's look at the camps. We've already got a double stack on the hard camp here. We have a triple stack with no mud golems at all over in the medium camp. And then Lion's been farming up for himself a little bit. Ice again down bottom. Now chased beyond his tier 1 tower. But he's not going down just yet. In fact, the Sentry Ward looks to be in tower range. It looks like they have vision, but they're not going to go for the ward. They're going to go for the kill. Sansheng gets stunned up, and he will be going down. Now going in, Banana is going to be pursued. It looks like he's not going to be able to bring him down, though. Ice is not that high in level. And a lot of sentries wasted under tower. I think that's 2 sentries gone to complete waste against Ice, along with an unsuccessful dive thanks to Lion's rotation. So Fenrir, in the early game, he's controlling the lanes, while FY, he controls his own destiny and farm. He's going to be just farming things up. Didn't clear any of these stacks yet, but he's going to make his way there now. And it's going to be medium camp to start things off. So, got the Ogres, the Double Wolves. Pretty good spot for him to be in. Down bottom, Fenrir going to be dropping low, but it's actually going to be Slark to fall first. Ice with that nuke. Now, chasing on Sansheng just a little bit. And it's all about the amount of damage that Lina can do. If she doesn't have enough to combo up the spiders, then there's no risk. Ice, as long as they live with 1 HP, he's fine to walk them back and regen them up.
Who turned up the heat?
Double damage rune on Sansheng, but clear to all with the Observer Ward and the Dire Creep. FY back over the jungle, stacking up the hard camp for a triple. He already farmed up the medium camp, and man, he's going to be progressing fast. This is going to put him past 1,000 gold when he gets to farm this up, and level 5.5 at least. Meantime, Super doing pretty well here, 20 and 5 against Moo, but they are going to make their rotation. Smoking in. Moo actually gets hit by the Assassinate, drops down to 12 HP, 2 HP! Oh, the creeps nearly bring him down. Valuable GG branches, as well as the second point of corrosive skin, keeping him alive, but geez, under heavy fire. Fenrir doing his roaming thing, but it's actually going to be him that gets caught out, it looks like. Clockwork does not have hookshot yet, but he's actually just about there. 1 creep, and he's going to get it, but we're going to see a waveform first, and it's actually going to be Fenrir rotating to bring down June. So June's going to fall very quickly here with the Hex, and that's going to be the kill against him, but where are the supports going? Sansheng doesn't see, I mean, they have the Radiant Observer Ward, they see FY doing what he's doing, but they want to kill Super, so they're going to get the lift, Light Strike Ray in place, and the Viper Strike. They'll get a kill, but look how low they are in retreat. Moo, very low HP once again, and Sansheng down to almost nothing. So Meanwhile, Banana, FY, just hanging around each other. Burrow Strike connects, and that's a kill. A bit of a freebie, if you will. Down bottom, since the supports are so far away, we're going to see some major pressure coming in from Ice, and he's got that Soul Ring coming off cooldown. So for now, hitting on the tower. The level 2 Dark Pact is not enough to deal with the tower. In fact, I'm not even sure why Rabbit went for 2 points and pounce. Like, you always max Dark Pact against the Broodmother in my mind. But we're going to see some diving coming through. Morphling with a Haste Rune, pursues to bring down the Lina, and now, quick wave form, gets a double. Really nice movement from him. Very active on this map, and they're, again, just creating space for the Broodmother. Ice is kind of the space creator this game. Oh, June, catching up Fenrir. Has the movement speed advantage just slightly, but the battery assault expires. He's going to try to rocket flare it, and it will be enough. Oh, man. Close call. How? Looking to close in on June. No adaptive strike, so TPS should be fine. Down bottom's actually going to be Ice. That gets caught out. He goes to man up on Rabbit, but Rabbit hit level 6, so he's got the Shadow Dance, he's got the Magic Wand. He survives just narrowly. Ice overextending, but again, it's kind of like it's a you pat my back, I pat yours kind of thing. Whenever the supports rotate away from Brood forces her threatening presence. She goes and she gets involved and brings this tower low, kills and harasses the Slark, and that forces the supports back. And then when the supports are back, she can just go into the jungle. So it's kind of this thing where she creates space and then forces objectives when space is created for her. So we'll check out the early net worth here. 4,000 advantage for Vici Gaming, just about 1,500 in experience. And a lot of this is going to be on the Sand King, which is the important thing. He's got his Blink Dagger here 8 minutes in, thanks to how well they executed on this lane. Down bottom, Broodmother gets caught out. And that's just a good pick-off. That's good telekinesis play, and finding the opportunity right when she leaves the tree line. That's the important timing. Right when she's actually visible. Moo gonna just deny this rune, doesn't want to go for it all the way into the river, but it looks like he's still gonna get shrapnel down the Hex as well. Moo in a really awkward spot, and there is no hope for him now. Gonna just go down. June coming in with potential damage. Super is already down to 60 HP, but June can't finish him off. Rocket Flare should be attempted though. We'll see if he lands it. And there it goes, but Super will just keep on walking. And Ice goes in against Rabbit. Now has max Dark Pact, so one spider down. Still, the tower's taking some hits. Looks like Ice will go for the deny. Can't imagine why he wouldn't. Oh, the Siege Creep drops it down to 8 HP. He's still not denying it. Oh, Ice! I don't know what that was. I really don't. Mid lane, we're going to see some damage coming into June. Clockwork going to get hexed. Hit by the Epicenter. Unveiling the Blink Dagger in a flourish here. And Sansheng's just a little bit too late to do anything about this. So, that's going to be Super getting his phase boots up, a lot of mobility on him, but he's probably got to heal before he just gets like nuked down. He only has 200 HP right now. Yeah, this bottom lane's kind of become a bit of a wash right now. Ice losing the opportunity to deny that tier 1 tower. I mean, it was clearly right there. There was no reason not to. You can't chalk that up to anything but a mistake. But as the towers have no backdoor protection, he just goes and puts the spiders out. Despite the creep wave being all the way out here, the tier 1 towers just they get chipped down spider by spider. They do a damage type that doesn't actually do that much damage to towers, but it still is going to be taking him down eventually. I believe it's chaos damage, but Rabbit going to go and try to farm this up. Gets a couple of spiders there and keeps going about his business. How? He did get his waveform stolen earlier. He's looking for an early Linkosphere. Wants that regen rune, but he's actually going to get hooked here. The Strength Morph started a little bit too late, friend. That was just tough position for him to be in, but honestly, once the hook shot hit, you have to start Strength Morphing, and even then, you probably don't survive. They just will commit the Laguna on top. So, Rabbit going to be able to get 5-6 spiders out of that. Really nice. Going to pad his last hit stats, even though his net worth is still trailing. And a few more. Why not? But now FY without a Dark Pact. It's actually a pretty easy pick, and just baiting him in with the spiders. Ice is happy to feed 3 or 4 extra spiders in order to set up a free Blink Burrow Strike. So, great idea, great bait opportunity, and I just love that idea from Vici Gaming. Just force the Slark to use his one really good defensive tool to farm, and then jump him when he doesn't have a way to prevent disables.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Epicenter cooling down. 4-3-0-1 build from Sand King, so a lot of potential front-loaded damage followed up with some good epicenter throughput. Gonna be a deny for the tower for Clockwork. Gonna go for the hookshot onto Ice Ice Ice. Has the sentry ward, but the Dragon Slave is what would have gotten the kill. Ice 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 avoids it, but there is gonna be a waveform to turn it back around. Epicenter post-mortem will break down. Oh my gosh, look at these spell steals. Doesn't have the mana for it now, but they're still going to get the kill on the Lion, or at least it looks like it. Maybe not. Fenrir gets the stun, Rabbit now caught out, and he's not actually going to be able to get out now. He can't pounce it. The last right click, oh, barely gets away at the last moment. One more shrapnel charge would have done it, but Super can't get it. Top lane, we do see Moo pressuring the tower. The last hit goes to the Dire. The Siege Creep finishing the job, and Hao going for the Waveform TP without the Electric Array connecting. So, a couple of really good plays there from the Rubik in particular. Able to use the Waveform to bring down the Brood right when she was going to be able to retreat. That's impressive just by itself. But the fight still, I mean, as active as it's been, the dust settles and it's 5,000 net worth in favor of Vici Gaming. They've got 3 heroes at the top of the net worth over the Slark, who's been fed a few spiders here and there. And we're going to see a older build coming in from Ice Ice Ice. Like, he has been one of the pioneers in terms of Broodmother play recently, going for things like Hand of Midas into Necronomicon, the no boot strat, stuff like that. But in this case, not only does he go for the Boots of Speed, but he's going to be going into one of the oldest items Brood used to go with, which is an Orchid Rush. And it's just one of those items where you can pretty much just, as soon as you get one hit and the silence on somebody, pretty much guarantee the kill. So he's not going for the Midas into Dagon Ethereal Blade build. He's not going for the Necro build. He's going for this older one, and he's just going to be benefiting a lot from the silence, I think. Silencing either the Lina or the Rubik guarantees the kill as soon as you connect with an auto attack, and it allows him to dominate in a different capacity. We're going to see the Blade Mail come out in the Clockwork, so he's going to have to use his ultimate to offset that. He gets one at 60% lifesteal versus a 100% damage reflect, and that should be enough for him to be feeling pretty good about it. And being annoying as he can, just getting a few auto attacks here and there and trying to set up FY. If he forces the Dark Pact, we're going to see more Burrow Strike play, but it looks for right now the Spiders will be low enough HP that Ice will play a bit passively. Dust of Appearance on Rabbit, though. And honestly, there's everybody here. Like, there are so many heroes poised and waiting for that opener, maybe onto Ice. Finger of Death is here. They just need to find him. In June, does he go for the Dust? It doesn't look like it. Oh, hookshot, Dust! They're going to find Ice here, and they're going to be able to clean him up quickly, but Banana will be going down to the Spiders, and the Dragon Slave can't kill them all off. So we're going to see Fenrir TP away immediately. FY is going to be able to retreat just because Sand King is a very slippery fellow. But the Spiders all go the way of the Clockwork. So really nice rocket flare there, and suddenly he jumps up a dozen CS.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Moo here, gonna get hit by the shrapnel. Maybe looking for a combo, Finger of Death to open it. Pretty interesting, but if the Spawn Spiderlings connect, then it's gonna be fine. Assassinate Spawn Spiderlings, but there's an Epi Burrow on to 3. They're gonna be able to Delta split it a little bit, but it's still gonna result in 4 Euros going down, and for Rabbit heading for the hills. They started off a little aggressively there, opening with the Finger, Spawn Spiderlings, and then going for the Assassinate. It costs Broodmother her life, but it creates the opportunity for 4 kills to go in its stead. So, great combo there, just kind of forcing the fight so that FY can go for that big epicenter. You can't really just expect the enemy to walk into your epicenter without actually giving them something as a bit of a bait. So, they give them a free Broodmother, but at the cost of huge positioning errors when it comes down to facing the Sand King. So, just playing a kind of fishing right now is what Vici Gaming is doing. Just taking them hook, line, and sinker and reeling them in. But we do see Super now looking to farm up a double stack of Ancients, focusing the Ancient Granite Golem as the prime target here. The Radiant Observer Ward as well as the Rocket Flare scouts this out pretty well, but they're not going to be looking for a hook shot against him, not just yet. De-warding up here. Gonna give a bit of coverage to the top lane and the secret shop. Pretty important, but let's check on items in general. I don't think I've really hit on that too well. So, Moo, he's gonna be looking for mechanism on the Viper. Probably banking gold. Yeah, Slark probably wants his Blink Dagger next. The Clockwork looking for most likely the Blade Mail. Getting annoyed by spiders a little bit. And yeah, Sansheng maybe a long-term Yule strat, but it's gonna be a while before he can actually get that Yules. And he's actually dropping pretty low here. The courier, no, courier gets just poked to death by these little tiny teeth. Ice, finding everything here in the mid lane. He can't really go on Moo since the corrosive skin will just reflect that damage, but dodging out the rocket flare, he can actually go and do some good stuff here onto the Clockwork directly. Ice manning up against Moo, but he's slowed so much in attack speed and movement speed, baiting in further. They're going to go for the kill on the Clockwork, and it looks like on Moo too. It looks like Ice is happy as a clam to be sacrificing himself for a couple of kills and building momentum. He still has a spider, so he still is able to contribute in some real way. There was a kill on the Sand King up top, by the way. They did get the connection from the Rubik. He was able to get the telekinesis, steal the Burrow Strike, and all that good stuff. Rabbit trying to find super here and should be able to. I mean, he's got Mask of Madness phase though, so he's going to go on the run and at a distance look to try to snipe things down. Banana, for example, going to get hit by both the Shrapnel and the Assassinate. They go for the Adaptive Strike, but it's not that potent, honestly. Hal's going to be taking some hits here, and I'm not sure if it's going to be a worthy trade. In fact, they're going to try to oh, it gives the Morph away! Oh, that's such a good Finger of Death. If they didn't get that Finger of Death out, Rubik would be instantly morphing strength. He would be building up so much HP, and it would be active for the rest of this game. It doesn't go away when the Morph goes away. You get that spell once, you turn this 25 Agi into strength, and you are in a really good spot. You still take a lot of physical damage. You might need an armor item, but it's still going to be a kind of a... It's a good move to really help out your mid to late game as Rubik. Just in general, it's a good long-term strategy to be able to steal that Morph and immediately turn it all to strength. You lose some attack speed too. Ice, getting caught out here in the cogs, in the dust. He'll be going down again. So this Broodmother, his KDA does not look good. Ice is 4, 8, and 5. Report the feeder. But no, almost all these kills have been worthwhile. They've been creating opportunities. They've been pressing advantages. FY going in with the blink onto Moo. Gonna now Burrow Strike towards Sansheng. He doesn't connect with the Burrow Strike though. And in fact, he's gonna get hit by the Laguna Blade. So taking a lot of damage here. He'll be killed off by Banana Burrow Striking. And Hal is now in a really awkward position once again. Fully strengthed up. He never got his Agi back from the previous fight. Now he's trying to get it back, but it's a little late for that, man. He is already engaged in this fight and is going to have to wait for him with no TP. So the Radiant know about this. They can't see him just yet, but Observer Ward could go up to the high ground here, and this should be a kill. In fact, he could... No, I mean, there's going to be a replicant in play, but still, how? Up on the high ground here, it looks like he's going to be going down. They jump up, he'll wave down, and actually, that kind of takes away their opportunity to close the distance on him. It's going to be Clockwork that wraps around for the hook shot or the cogs to try to keep him penned in. So they'll go on this wild goose chase for a long time, but Hal's still playing around with them, waveforming away. So while the fight around this area didn't work out so well for them, the fact that Hal just got out of this is pretty insane. I mean, he's baiting them all in. FY with the triple stun back into safe territory, and there's the shrapnel onto everybody. Hal is just running circles around them. Are you kidding me? Did they really chase him across the river? That's just mind-boggling. Now gonna just be absolutely decimated by the sniper. Baited is not even the right word. Oh man, like that was just... I don't know why you chase a 3000 HP Morphling that's waveforming back to back when you don't have an instant disable. Like, they just chased him all the way across the map for so damn long. And they just kept on trying. They kept on trying to kill him. And, I mean, they have a couple of good spells to connect and lock him down, but you have to draw the line at the river, right? Like, when he got that last waveform out and he was safe over here, you don't keep going. That's just ridiculous. I can't imagine how hungry they were for that kill that they actually went and followed through with it. That was ridiculous. Good play from Hal, but I gotta say that it's the fight that never should have happened.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But, yeah, baiting and creating opportunities is really what Vici's playstyle is about against Newbee right now. They're running around them. They're just putting mind games on top of mind games. And when they seem to be feeding a kill away for absolutely no reason, and Newbee are like, oh, that's a mistake, let's capitalize on it. Is it a mistake, or is it an intentional error to force you to make a move? It seems like Vici are just reading how Newbee are going to respond to every situation so very well. And they're able to actually take a ton of fights on the back of it. Like, there's like, okay, well, if we do this, they'll do that, and it's just a chess game for them. They're really orchestrating it well, and suddenly they're 25-17 with a lineup with a really good set of core heroes. I mean, Morphling, kind of slow rolling. His net worth is only sitting here at 10.6k, but that's still far and above what the Slark can pick up at this point in the game. Moo's gonna get caught out here. Nice combo magic spells, and just draining back the mana for Fenrir. Great opportunity there. Now we're going to see FY caught out a little bit. Will die to the rocket flare. And it's actually going to be Banana here who goes in with an insatiable hunger, tries to man fight with the lifesteal. That's pretty funny. But in the end, How will be able to bring him down, and I don't think this smoke is going to work out. No. Assassinate. No, don't even need it. Going for the adaptive strike as a triple kill. How wants his ultra kill, baby. He will not get it, though. It's going to be peeped by Super on the sniper. And they take another 4-man wipe. Like, Newbee have just lost 4 heroes in like 4 back-to-back engagements. They have just lost so much. You look at all these red dots all clumped up together. These are team fights that are going awry for Newbee and are going so damn well for Vici Gaming. They start off with, like, again, a hero that they think they can kill. They're like, oh, there's the Sand King. Let's put him in cogs. Let's dust him. He should be dead, right? That seems great. That seems like just a free pickoff and a mistake that we capitalize on. But every single time, Vici's there with the follow-through. They run in quick with their phase boots and their Sanjunyashas, their webs across the map, their BKBs, Blink Daggers on the line. They all get into the fight. And as soon as they bring their entire squad to the fight, they're able to pretty much take them no matter what. So, as we can see, Vici pull ahead dramatically, a 10-kill advantage, looking for Roshan, and even though Rocket Flare will come out, it will be too late to really accomplish anything. Ice, spawning some spiders from the Roshan corpse, and How picking up the Aegis. Now we're going to see here, FY closing in, going for the epicenter onto Lina, no Yules to get herself out of this one. She's going to be going down with one more right click. Doesn't connect with it though. Now, in 6.84, oh, double burrow strike set up accidentally. Oh, man. Sancheng. And there's a triple Earth Spike, too. FY is under sentries. He may go down. Sandstorm stolen. Assassinate. Hitting onto Banana. Can he get that? He gets the burrow strike. Oh, my gosh. Even in his death, he makes the big plays happen. Kills off both the supports. And Fenrir, with the Earth Spike finger, kills off the Slark. Oh, my. That Blink Dagger. And it all comes down to this Observer Ward being in play and them trying to sentry it. They were trying to D-ward. FY catches out the Rubik there. And then Burrow Strike after Burrow Strike. Earth Spikes connecting hardcore too. And the damage reinforcements from the core heroes. Really impressive. Ice running down a mid lane Moo. Taking some crazy hits. It's a Warcraft 3 surround. He can't run. He can't hide. He is caught inside the spider army. Now trying to do it again under Rabbit. But it looks like he'll blink out immediately. And they're just going to take this tier 2 for free. Oh, man. That was so many spiders, honestly. Ice has just gotten this entire brood of his own. And the Zerglings are hungry. They're rushing around. It's not a 6 pool, but it certainly is a mass. And the morph is stolen this time successfully. So you look at this. Strength morph immediately. Rubik is now sitting at 9 agility. But he's actually got over 1650 HP with just Urn and Magic Wand. So you get something like a Medallion of Courage, a Ring of Basilius, even the Trinkle Boots will suffice. You'll get the armor you need to give yourself at least like that 20%-ish physical mitigation. And then you go in for items that can make a difference. You can go for Blink Dagger, Aghanim Scepter, stuff like that. And now that he has this much strength, now that he has 79 over 9, for his strength to Agi, he can steal Adaptive Strike and get the 4.25 second stun that you see from the offlane Morphling. And he's going to get that utility for himself. But we're going to see June caught out here. Again, the ultimate of Ice offsetting that Blade Mail by essentially life-stealing the damage that he deals to himself. It's 80 versus 100 right now. But Morphling going in for the quick E-Blade combo brings down the Slark so damn fast. He has no tank items, just an Ogre Club. And How just goes in, and you can see it. 1800 damage to the Slark. There's a brief skirmish between the two, but as a whole, just doesn't stand a chance. And now, it's hard to really call how Newbee get themselves back into this one. The first game, they had some real opportunities. They had some good momentum underneath them. This game, Vici just seemed to be running them over. I mean, you see, it started slow. It just was a slow crawl to 10,000 advantage, but suddenly, kill after kill, 22,000. There's an E-Blade combo with a Finger of Death and an Assassinate. Buyback from the Rubik instantly. This is the tanky Rubik. This is the guy that has 5% null field, and he, of course, has all that HP, but it doesn't matter with the E-Blade doing just so much work. Oh, man. It's such a hard game, no matter how tanky your supports get. I mean, he has twice the effective health that Lina does, and it still doesn't matter. Not in the slightest. In fact, Lina's not even going to go for, like, a Yule Scepter. She'd like to have a Bracer at this point in the game. Oh, Burst Strike, nice steal. Coming in. Adaptive Strike is probably the best one, though. I think you should probably look to try to snatch Hao's Adaptive. That's going to be allowing them to control a little bit. The Spider's going to go down. That's a lot of moolah coming in for the Rabbit, but that's not going to really translate into items anytime soon. Slark jumping in. What is that blink? Oh, man. Rabbit wastes his Shadow Dance, wastes his blink, but Hao goes into the base. June breaks up the fight with the cogs right onto Super. We're going to see Laguna bring down Hao once, and Super will barely be able to get out of those cogs. Hao jumping back here, he replicates back, and he goes and kills off the Clockwork. Now the Epicenter coming out from FY. Moo going down with the Assassinate. They start the fight off in an awkward fashion, and Vici Gaming close it out. GG is called. Sancheng tapping out this time. It's too much for them to bear. They've eaten so much damage from all these nukes. They've taken so many difficult engagements trying to kill the unkillable, and as a result, the game goes awry. Vici Gaming in 27.5 minutes close out this 2-game series 2-0. Newbee, they had the right idea in a lot of situations, but the problem was they overextended. They overreached for that. They just really, they dug their hands into the cookie jar, and they got their hands caught in it. It was crushing to watch for a Newbee fan, but it's really hard for this team right now. Without Xiao 8, their direction really does seem lost. And the Newbee that we see now versus the one that we saw at TI4, there's so much difference when you don't have that prime shot caller. Like, I'm sure there's somebody calling the shots, but the experience of Xiao 8 versus whoever is taking on that role in Newbee, there's just some real difference, because they're not seeing the whole bigger picture. They're not seeing through the fog and realizing what Vici are up to when these heroes get caught out. They just say, hey, that's a free kill, kill it. And that's a good mentality to have in pubs, but up against a lineup like Vici Gaming that are orchestrating everything intentionally, you just can't actually assume anything. You can't make assumptions, and that's what costs Newbee this game. So that's going to close it out for us here. 2-0 in favor of Vici Gaming. Incredible watch. FY at work on the Sand King. Ice as Ice was fun to watch on the Brood, and really just as a whole, Vici Gaming played a great game as a team. That was really enjoyable. But that's all for this matchup. We're going to be going into another 2-game series here in just a minute. A little bit behind schedule, but not by much. Oh, actually, we're ahead of schedule now. I'm used to being behind schedule, but we're actually 25 minutes ahead. So we may have a short break here before we go into the 3rd game for today. We have just these 2 best of 2s. The weekends is when it gets really crazy, and we have like 4 in a row, so that's 8 games total. But for now, it's just Game 3 and Game 4, which will be Invictus Gaming versus Vici's Potential team. So it's not Vici Gaming, it is Vici Gaming Potential, their secondary squad, but honestly, the Tier 2 teams, the Vici Gaming Potential, the Newbees sub-squads, they're all looking pretty solid. Like, none of them are completely, like, I cast a lot of, like, amateur Dota and other scenes, and there are some teams where you just look at them and just like, I want you to succeed, I want you to learn and improve, but honestly you have no chance against X team. But I actually think that all the Newbee sub-squads and all the Vici sub-squads, or just the one, has a really good shot at taking games off of the higher tier teams. So looking forward to seeing what VGP have to bring to bear against IG, but yeah, IG are looking really strong, and they're going to be fun to watch too. So anyways, that's going to be coming up in, I believe, 25 minutes. I don't think we'll be speeding that along, so we might just wait it out. If you guys want to talk in the chat a little bit, I'm having some fun theory crafting 6.84, so you guys can ask me questions there, or also have an ask.fm at /blazecasting. And also you can ask me questions on twitter.com/blazecasting. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the broadcast here for this match, Vici Gaming 2-0. Thanks to iLeague for hosting these qualifiers here for China, the group stage leading up to the big event. Looking forward to that in particular. But of course, once again, if you enjoyed the broadcast, not only check out look to support myself by following me, but also look to head over to beyondthesummit.tv for coverage hub of all the BTS tournaments. That's going to wrap it up for this game here, and we'll see you guys in about 20 or so minutes for the third game of today, IG versus VGP.